Okay, all right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so let's get started. Go. How does this one goes?
Yes, so boleh start.
Let's start. Okay. Good afternoon. All right. Okay. So I got this invitation to talk about the HR issues, right? Okay. So yeah, let's walk through the questions that I already received. Okay, so for the first one, number one, okay, it's stated here what are the most pressing HR challenges your company is currently facing. Okay, so basically for our company, I'm by the way from GKN Aerospace. It's an aviation company. So the most challenges in HR that we face is definitely the turnover. But we don't have any much turnover issue because people sometimes they resign. And of course, being in Johor, we are very near to Singapore. So that is one of the reason that people resign because they wanted to go to Singapore. So as you guys probably know that Singapore they have the 3 times the currency than our in Malaysia, right? So that is the most challenging things lah because of course we cannot pay as high as what they pay in Singapore. All right. Okay. Number two, how do these challenges vary across different departments or teams within your organization? Okay, so basically for this number two, the when people leave, the challenges is definitely to train the other new joiners to come in lah. Some people they take time to learn, especially in aviation company, we cannot just hire people and then esok diorang dah boleh buat kerja. It's not like that lah. So for us, they need to go through very extensive training before they can do their work. Okay, so I go through the question tak ada pertanyaan ke apa ke?
Oh, tak ada, tak ada.
Alright. Okay. So number three, are there any emerging trends in your industry that have influenced your HR challenges? I don't think there's any trends to it because the Singapore, the currency thing is going on forever, right? So the sometimes the rate is higher, sometimes the rate is low. But traditionally, there have always been higher rates lah compared to Malaysia. So that is the challenges that is still ongoing. And then in Singapore also, they have very huge aviation because in Malaysia kita punya aviation banyak dekat KL lah. So dekat Johor is quite low. So that's why Singapore is the international hub, very nearby with Johor. So that is the current the trend lah of the challenges. Okay, so the root causes, what are the underlying reason behind the identified HR challenges? So like I said, is a currency thing. We try to give very attractive package to our employee, but of course, if you double the money 3 times, for example, if I pay you 1,800, it's above the minimum wage in Malaysia. But if you go to Singapore, they probably give you 1,700 or 1,005. But if you multiply that to Malaysia money, so they will go there lah. Definitely they will take that their offer. Okay, so have any number five, have any organizational processes or policies contribute to these issues? I don't think this involved with us because of course we are following all plus we give a good package for our employee, we give their benefits. So I don't think it's a organizational processes lah yang contribute to these issues. Okay, number six, to what extent does the external competition or market condition impact your HR problems? Okay, so definitely it is very impacting lah because we have people going out, leave the company because they want to chase the dollar, Sing dollar, right? Singapore dollar. So definitely the currency play an important role. So, but at the same time, we also try to give a best package lah for our employees, so that instead of they going to other place in Johor, they will go to us lah. Okay, all right, next question, number 7. How have these HR issues affected employee morale and engagement within your organization? Okay, so basically when we have this problem, sometimes it affected employee morale because some of the people are very, like I said, is very trained. So if they leave, we need to train another one. And then if we couldn't find the right person in time, so definitely there will be some setback lah. There will be cause some delays to the operations. Okay. All right. So number 8. What measurable impact have these challenges had on productivity, turnover rates, or other KPI? Alright, so like I mentioned at number 7, of course, it impacts our productivity because we need to serve our client, right? So far we have, like for example, if there is one process, we always have 2 person there. So if one guy leave, at least we have another backup. So it will cause some delay, but it will not stop lah. Right? Okay, so for the turnover rates, this issue goes throughout the year. Some months we don't have people leaving, some months we do. So it goes up and down like that lah. Okay? Alright, so number 9. Have there been any noticeable changes in the company culture due to these issues? Okay, number 9, I would say no. But of course, when one people leave for Singapore, the other also, wow, there's a vacancy in Singapore. So people also tempted. Diorang tergoda lah kan, semua nak dapat duit. Tapi of course, as I don't know if you guys know, you nak pergi Singapore pun, you need to naik motor pagi-pagi, early in the mornings, and you have to go a lot of traffic, so there's a lot of risk there. Some people, they willing to take the risk. Some people, they prefer, tak apalah, kerja kat Malaysia je lah. At least they have the work-life balance lah. Right? Okay, next is number 10. Could you share data or metrics to illustrate the extent of these HR issues? Okay, so I definitely couldn't share the data because it's private and confidential, but I can share with you guys the absenteeism rates lah. So far in our company, the rates go up to 40%. So, but like I mentioned earlier, it's always not constantly lah. Maksudnya bukan tiap-tiap bulan. Sometimes we do have some highs, we do have some lows lah. Tapi the average is probably around 40%. Okay, so that one is including dengan employee turnover lah. Right? Okay, number 11. Are there any industry benchmark you compare your HR performance against? Okay, so basically number 11 ni, this is something new yang we would like to do for next year lah, 2025, because of course some of this information you tak boleh just minta kan, orang pun tak nak bagi punya kan, that other companies. So you can do a lot of networking, but of course it will take time lah. So far we just create the benchmark performance by ourselves, because of course kita pun have worked in previous companies, so we can use our previous experiences to put the benchmark against lah. Okay, alright, number 12. What tools or system do you use to track and analyze HR related data? Okay, so for now we still using the Excel punya sheet. Of course, as you guys know, you can do the macro or the formula right into the Excel. So we always track this monthly to make sure that kita punya number is correct. So from there we just generate ikut the formula lah. So far just it wasn't that very complicated because of course kita nak check all the absentees rate apa semua, tapi so far we just use the Excel for the time being lah. So from there you boleh nampak and then you turn that into PowerPoint presentation and then you can present to the higher ups. Okay, alright, number 13. What specific steps or strategies have you implemented to address HR challenges? Okay, so for the problems that we face in terms of the people living to Singapore, right? So for us, we always try to do what we can do. So the first thing that we do is improve our benefits lah. So yang tadi 1,800 tu, I was just give you a very random punya examples, but for us we always give it more than the minimum wage. So from there, kalau sebab aviation ni dia banyak more concentrate in Selangor, dekat Subang sana, all this heavy aviation. So what we do, we give quite a lot. Probably kita punya technician biasa pun range around 2,500 and above lah. Paling low dia akan dapat 2,500. So if you compare that dengan aviation lain pun, in the other company, dia orang tak bagi that much lah for starting. The highest they give is probably 2,000. And then from there kita bagi all the allowance, kita bagi makanan percuma tengah hari. So from there we can people pun nak living, dia orang akan fikir banyak kali lah. So we try to give the best insurance coverage, or sakit kita bagilah all these benefits. So from there people feel they don't want to leave the company lah. But macam saya, like I mentioned earlier lah, not all of them willing to go through the traffic jam kan pagi-pagi. So some of them nanti kan, for example, if they wake up to go to Singapore 4 in the morning, diorang balik pun probably around quite late, 10 or 11. Some of them even I heard balik up to 11 and 12, tapi at the same time diorang dah penat nak spend time with the family, right? So they just wake up, go to work and then sleep back. I mean that situation is good for the youngster like you guys lah kan, still muda kan, but some of them diorang dah ada family, dah ada apa, dah tak larat lah nak go through all that. So that's why we just focus on ourselves, give a best package, create the work environment for our team, and then from there we retain them lah. Okay. Alright, next. I go very quick. The question nanti you guys boleh ask lah. Okay, I pun first time buat ni. Alright, so next is 14. How do you ensure that this action align with both short-term needs and long-term goal? Okay, so I think this action is so far is the best that we can do, and I believe it is good for short terms and long terms. Because short terms, of course, we give more than, macam saya cakap tadi lah, more than the minimum Malaysia punya kan. Sekarang I think is 1,500. I think it's 1,500 the latest one ikut EA akta pekerja. So that is at least for short term, diorang pun boleh dapat extra income. And then long term pun, of course, some of them especially yang pergi Singapore ni, diorang for Malaysia they have KWSP and so on, right? So from there kita ada contribute to KWSP, and then kita provide training for them. So is a long term, diorang supaya diorang boleh have knowledge, so that from them after this maybe in 3-5 years diorang boleh explore to other opportunity. Right. Okay, next is 15. Could you describe any past strategies that were unsuccessful and what you learned from them? Okay, strategies yang tak berjaya. Okay, so last time kita pernah try to have the idea to give to offer orang-orang Singapore pula yang nak balik ke Malaysia, right? So we gave them a bit high than that is similar to what they receive dekat Singapore. Tetapi the problem is with that strategies is, of course, dia tak bagus for you financially lah, because the more you spend spend, the more lah duit keluar kan. So for what we do, kita ubah strategi tu. We, instead of focusing to get talent from Singapore, we try to get the talent dekat Selangor sana, dekat KL. And we also very surprised to see that, oh, dekat Selangor, dekat KL tu, even though dekat KL kan people tengok, wah, kerja KL bagus-bagus, all that, right? Tapi actually they don't give as much as apa yang kita bagilah for our technician. So that's why right now our strategies is try to go to the to poach people from Singapore, ask them if they are okay to pindah dekat Johor, and then from there lah kita get our talent. And so far we quite succeeded lah, because we managed to get a lot the aviation people daripada Selangor. So from there it completes lah apa yang kita punya the employee needs yang kita perlu buat untuk achieve our productivity. Okay, alright. Next is number 16. How do you plan to proactively prevent similar HR challenges in the future? Okay, so for the number 16 ni, of course we have find out that of course kita tak boleh to throw money to solve all the problem. Even though kalau kita just give money lagi berkesan kan. So what we do is we do a lot of engagement. Kita buat banyak aktiviti. Kita punya pekerja pun diorang ada diorang punya sport team, diorang pergi main futsal lah, pergi main badminton. So all this kind of things create engagement. So and then when you have engagement, you have good package, so people nak pergi pun dia aku dekat sini pun dah selesa kan. So they have second thoughts lah before they decided to go. Right? Okay, next, number 17. What role do you believe employee feedback plays in shaping your HR strategies? Okay, number 17 ni, of course, I believe employee feedback is very, very important, because as a HR person, HR is, dia punya task is to take care of the people lah. Sometimes HR have to do the disciplinary things apa semua, but at the end of the day we wanted to take care of the people so that they can serve the company lah as they were hired. So it's very important for us, apa-apa feedback. Contoh lah, give example, contoh orang kata, Sazrul dekat cafe hari ni makanan dia macam kurang sedap ke apa kan, ke ada masalah makanan basi ke apa ke. So we take that very seriously, give feedback dekat kita punya orang cafe. So from there, this is the contoh kecil lah yang saya boleh cakap kan, pasal employee feedback, right? So when we settle contoh masalah kecil macam tadi tu, so the next day they come in to work, dia orang rasa happy lah. Oh okay, so HR ada buat something kan. So from there dia orang akan lagi semangat nak kerja lah, saya cakap. Okay, alright. Then last one, are there any external partnership or resources you consider critical to resolving HR issue? Okay, so for the time being, in order for kita external partnership ni, kita banyak buat dengan kita punya local government bodies lah. For example macam Perkeso ke kan. So sometimes when kita ada masalah, tak cukup pekerja, sometimes we reach out to them. So nanti diorang ni kan kadang-kadang orang suka buat carnival kan. Penat nanti you guys dah habis grad, nanti mesti akan join ni diorang punya career fair ke apa kan. So from there kita pun ada join lah. So from there diorang pun sometimes, ni ada orang ni dia dah pernah kerja kat Singapore tapi kena lay off. So from there kita, especially yang ada pengalaman aviation lah, so from there we have the partnership with them so that we can get the candidate lah from them kalau they have the correct one. Okay. Yeah, I believe I answered all the question lah. Ada apa-apa soalan tak? Very muda-muda semua semua you guys same ni kelas semua I see. Okay, alright. Okay. Any question ke?
Setakat ni semua lengkap lah soalan jawab.
Okay, very good. So kalau ada apa-apa saya jawab salah ke apa ke, I think it's quite what apa jawapan yang saya bagi tadi tu is basically what we face lah. So if there's anything yang tak clear ke, boleh reach out to me lah. Maybe I will try to answer the questions lah. Right? Okay? Alright. So yeah, thank you all lah. Alright, for this opportunity, and then nanti Papa will reach out. Okay?
Nak ambil gambar sekejap.
Oh, nak ambil gambar? Screenshot ke apa?
Screenshot,
Okay.
screenshot.
Right.
Sekejap Mana pula screenshot.
Boleh. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, thank you all.
Terima
Okay,
kasih.
belajar elok sama.
Thank
Alright.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.